Welcome back to Creep It Weird with Liss and
Natty.
And
Morticia.
Natty's cat, the little black cat, her familiar that's joining us today.
She's literally leaning up against my arm.
A cutie. So, how have you been?
It's been very chaotic and extremely stressful. So I'm hoping to get some good news soon.
In the job hunt?
Yeah. I had a really good interview. I really liked the place. The people were pretty awesome. So I'm hoping that that one pans out.
Yeah, that would be nice, since you do not seem happy at all where you are.
It's just hard. 12-hour shifts are brutal, especially when it's 12 hours of extremely fast pace and like no break. It burns you out pretty quick.
But that does make you, like, the day fly by if you're busy.
Yeah, kind of.
No comment.
Yeah. Morticia, what is your deal?
She wants to be on the show.
Yeah, she's purring into the microphone.
All right, well, I feel like we haven't recorded in forever. That's probably why it's so weird right now.
Yeah, I think it has been a while. We need to do more, but I've got my other half. We're going to get some food after we're done and just chill. It's been a very stressful week.
Yeah, take the day off.
So we're going to Potato.
That's the way to do it. Find a good movie, pop it on. Oh, do you know what else? So the movie Backrooms just came out. If you remember, we did Backrooms not too long ago. I actually was planning on seeing it tomorrow night. Because I was like, I can't find it if they're going to actually make it.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't, I guess it was a while ago when we did it.
Well, I guess it's been, 3 weeks or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's out, so that's something if you and him wanted to go do, but if you don't want to leave the couch.
Yeah, I have to talk to him. It might be a little overstimulating for me to be in a movie theater. And I don't know if our little dinky theater is going to be playing it. What is her deal?
She wants your attention.
She's normally not like this.
That's usually Stella with me. She's usually climbing on my head. She'll, use me as a springboard. Today it's you getting harassed. All right, so today I am going to be bringing Lizzie Borden.
Oh, okay. Famous, infamous Lizzie Borden.
I love that everyone knows about her. I don't know why I thought it was just around here, but I like to know that the whole world does.
Oh, yeah. There's people that know about her all over the place. Like, I don't know anybody who has not at least heard the name before.
Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she'd seen what she had done, she gave her father 41. Everyone knows the famous nursery rhyme that she was harassed with later in her life. Lizzie Borden was tried for the murder of her parents in her family home in Fall River, Massachusetts. She was acquitted by the court, but the public's opinion has never fully acquitted her. The case of the murder of Lizzie's father and stepmother is still unsolved to this day. It's known for its brutality and strange happenings around the case. The house where the murder happened is still up and running for tours or overnight stays, and some people don't make it through the night, claiming that a Borden or something or someone else supernatural frightened them out in the middle of the night.
I thought I heard somewhere where they closed the Lizzie Borden house.
It's still open.
Is it? Okay.
Her house that she bought after Maplecroft, because the Lizzie Borden house is on 2nd Street in Fall River. That's like where the murders happened. Once the murders happened, she bought a house on the hill in Fall River. And named it Maplecroft, and that is currently a private residence. So you can see the outside of it, but you can't go in there anymore.
I just didn't think the murder house was still open for tours.
It is. I've been many times. I love that place.
Is it? But I thought it was just like just recently, like in the last year or two. I mean, if it's open, cool beans, because I think it'd be cool to visit.
As far as I know, it's still open.
All right. Well, then we need to make a trip.
Because I just saw that they have Victorian tea parties, and I was like, ooh, I think I'm going to be doing that.
Ooh.
And they have,
yeah, that's definitely right up our alley.
I think they do virtual ghost tours now online. Yeah, so we could literally sit at home tonight and just do a ghost tour from home.
How do you do a virtual ghost tour?
I have no idea, but I'm intrigued.
I feel like there's an awful lot that could be faked if you're doing it virtually.
Yeah. So Lizzie was born on July 19th, 1860. I got the year right this time. To Andrew and Sarah Borden. She was the couple's third child. They had Emma, who was older than Lizzie, and they did have another baby, Alice, also before Lizzie, and unfortunately that baby died before reaching 2. And when Lizzie was still very young, her mother died of natural causes. And a little about Andrew, Lizzie's father. He grew up, his family was wealthy, but he wasn't. He was struggling, and he ended up making his wealth by hard work. He was involved with all sorts of businesses. He was president of a bank. He had rental properties, commercial rental properties, textiles. That was like Fall River is known for having like tons of textiles. And wood products being a large part of the way he later became very successful. By wood products, that includes caskets. And I do remember hearing or reading somewhere that he used to rent or sell caskets.
Oh.
And if the body was too tall, Andrew would cut the feet off. And this may have been a rumor about him, but I forget where I read or heard that. I don't know why I talk.
That is crazy if it's true. I can see that totally being like, I don't want to be out the money to do a new one, so I'm just going to lob off their legs. I mean,
you would think a break would be easier than just a slice, though, wouldn't it? Or maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, no. To try to break something, that'd be a lot more effort than just sawing off at the ankle.
Well, hopefully it was a rumor, okay?
Yeah, hopefully it's a rumor.
By the time Andrew Borden was murdered, he was worth about $300,000 or over $10 million today.
Damn.
Even though Andrew was a baller, he was a penny pincher. He was known for being over the top, CHEAP.
Oh. I had to sit there in my head and go, wait, what?
Well, I guess that's a trigger word for him. So, and I've been there many times, so I don't want to summons him. That's why I'm not saying it.
Or there's a word I'm looking for. I can't think of it right now.
Scrooge McDuck. I don't know.
Yeah.
The house that he owned in Fall River on 2nd Street lacked a lot of amenities that were regular for the time. Like, everyone else had, like, toilets throughout the house, bathrooms, but he didn't want to do that. He just had, like, a little thing in the basement, and everyone else would have to use those chamber pots, which is super gross.
Ew, no thank you.
And Andrew wanted to continue to live on this house on 2nd Street because this was, like, by the middle of town, by a lot of his businesses. But the more affluent or well-to-do people lived on the hill, further from the center of town. Andrew remarried a few years after Lizzie's mother died. He married Abby Durfee Gray, who was, from a young age, a motherly figure for the girls. And they thought that Abby only married Andrew for his money. I forget how old she was. She was like 30-something, which was like spinster age back then.
Oh, yeah. So that's old for back then. And
Lizzie would call Abby Mrs. Borden as like a petty dig. She wouldn't call her mother. She'd say, yes, Mrs. Borden.
Oh, damn.
In 1892, the year of the murder, 41-year-old Emma and 32-year-old Lizzie still lived with their father and their stepmother, and they were both unmarried women.
That's a little outlandish.
For the time, especially.
Like, what was wrong with them? Something had to have been wrong for both of them to not be married.
I mean, they both seemed social enough. Like, Lizzie was the more social one, and she was clearly Andrew's favorite. She taught Sunday school. She was a big philanthropist. She was involved in social movements like the temperance movement. And Emma was always off visiting friends. So I don't know if it's theorized that possibly their father didn't let them date.
Oh.
And another being later that Lizzie may have swung the other way. But again, just theories. So I don't know. Maybe that's something that would just be said if you weren't married at that time.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, back then there was, but yeah.
But because they weren't married, that might have been rumors, which is a lot of around this case is people try to fill in the blanks.
Yeah. Are there a witch?
Yes. Where's Morticia? So living in the house, we have Andrew, Abby, Lizzie, and Emma.
Okay.
And there was also the Irish immigrant domestic servant Bridget Sullivan, a.k.a. Maggie.
Well, that's an interesting nickname for that name.
I bring up Irish immigrant because, Irish people.
Yes.
She was hired to cook and clean for the family, but not go in their bedrooms because, you can spread Irish and the Bordens could catch it. You don't want that.
Didn't we do another Irish immigrant?
That was... Oh my gosh, what's her name? Typhoid.
Oh, yeah, Typhoid Mary.
Yeah, but there was like a huge prejudice against Irish people. And also at that time in Fall River, Portuguese people that were coming in. They were like, ew, disgusting.
Yeah.
Although her name was Bridget, the family called her Maggie because that was the name of their old maid. And they couldn't be expected to learn the new name of the one employee they had in their house.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
absurd.
Yeah.
I hope you got my sarcasm there.
Yeah.
As in all, like any and all families, there was tension, little fights. One rumor being that Lizzie had a bunch of pigeons in the barn and she just built this roost for them. And she was super excited. And Andrew, her father, just went in one day and just hacked them all up with an axe.
Not sure I see the motive there.
He said like they were dirty or didn't want the neighborhood kids coming by. But she liked these animals. Obviously, if you're making like a roost for them, you want to keep them as pets. There was also some sort of argument about Andrew Borden giving Abby's sister a house. So his new wife's sister got a house. And the girls were like, what about us? So he was like, okay. And he sold them a rental property for $1. This was the property where they lived with their mother before she passed. And once they started caring for it, they saw how much it was to upkeep. All the money they were making, they were putting back into the house. So they were like, yeah, I don't know if I want this. And they ended up selling it back to their father for $5,000, which is worth over $180,000 today.
Damn.
And I'm only bringing this stuff up because this was like tension before everything happens. There was some sort of blowout at the family in July of 1892, and the girls, Emma and Lizzie, went to New Bedford, which is right near Fall River, just to get some space. Because the house is very tight feeling. You've visited old houses and you just see how they have this really small.
And the doorways are smaller. It's just they back then they made things smaller.
Yeah. Quality but smaller. And now it's like huge and trash.
Yeah, exactly.
But the house has like a really congested, tight feeling. There's the basement and then there's the ground level where the kitchen, dining room, living room is. And then up the stairs. The stairs are directly in front of the front door. It leads up to the second floor where the family's bedrooms are, and the third floor was where Maggie stayed. Okay, so August 3rd, 1892, the day before the murders, the whole Borden house was sick. Like Natasha usually is.
Yeah, like me usually.
Just stuff coming out of everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It mimicked the symptoms of like a horrible stomach bug. And if you recall how I said Andrew was super, I'm trying to think of another word for CH, super Scrooge McDucky.
Yeah.
He would leave food out until...
Frugal. He's super frugal.
Okay, we'll go frugal. Frugal Fanny. Frugal Fanny Andrew.
Yep.
He would leave food until the family finished it. So this time around it was mutton. Although one of the tour guides said it was swordfish. Either way, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And this was a time of no refrigeration. So an icebox, which would make it cooler, but low temperature, but it's still bacteria growing. And it's still like in danger zone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Abby was said to have gone to a doctor who lived in the neighborhood and was scared, like, we may be getting poisoned because Andrew has all these enemies. And the doctor was like, just don't eat old food and you'll be okay. Lizzie's uncle, the mother that passed away, her brother, John Morse, visited the Borden house. And he was to stay a few days, presumably to discuss some sort of business stuff he was doing with Andrew. This is the day before the murders. And at some point, Mr. Borden and John Morse had some sort of argument. But either way, he stayed the night and he slept in the guest room, which is to the left of the stairs on the second floor, which is later where Abby will be murdered. So the next day, the day of the murders, Bridget, or Maggie, got breakfast going. Everyone but Lizzie and Emma were present at breakfast because Emma was still away visiting friends and Lizzie was still asleep. The men both left at different times. John Morse left a little before 9 and Andrew left sometimes after 9. John Morse went by trolley to visit some family, so witnesses saw that. And Andrew went into town to deal with some business stuff, stopping by the bank, witnesses. And Abby told Bridget/Maggie to do the windows inside and out. And around 9 a.m., Abby went upstairs to tidy up the guest room where John Morse had stayed. This is around the time where Lizzie woke up. Andrew got home about 10:30-ish, and he tried the front door, but his key wouldn't work, so he knocked, and Bridget went to go open the door. She struggled a bit, and she swore in Gaelic, and she later said that when she swore in Gaelic, she heard Lizzie giggle, and it sounded like it came from the top of the stairs, which is directly in front of the bedroom where Abby's found later. So Andrew got inside and asked Lizzie where Abby was. And Lizzie said, oh, she got a letter and she went to go visit a sick friend. Just to know, this letter never appears whenever asked for later. Like, this letter is never found. Nobody knows anything about it. Andrew laid down, whether still sick or tired, to take a nap, and Bridget went and took his boots off, as I guess domestic servants do. And this matters later because in the crime scene photos, he has his shoes on, but police later say that they put the shoes back on because a guy shouldn't be photographed without shoes on, because that was improper.
Oh, Jesus.
You can't just go wiggling your socks around public, Natasha. You're crazy. Bridget went to go lay down in her third floor room, and around 11 a.m., Bridget heard Lizzie yell out, Maggie, come quick. I fucking hate that they use Maggie. Maggie, come quick. Father's dead. Someone came in and killed him. The doctor across the street, the same one that told them not to eat old food, was summoned over to the Borden House, and he found Andrew on the couch. He was, like, clearly dead. Like, there was no need to even check a pulse. He was missing his eye. His head was, like, crushed in. You know, it appeared to be 10 or 11 axe blows. And the wounds were still bleeding, so it happened recently. He pronounced Andrew dead, and the time of death was said to be around 11 a.m. At some point, they made their way to the second floor, and they found the deceased body of Abby Borden on the ground in that guest bedroom where John Morris has slept, but she was, like, on the other side of the bed, away from the stairs.
Yeah.
I mentioned about Lizzie's laugh because if Lizzie was at the top of the stairs, she was near the body, but on multiple tours I've done, I totally get it. If you're there and you don't crouch down, you can't really see it, or if you look to your left when you're going up the stairs. But Lizzie said she wasn't there anyways. And Abby also appeared to have been murdered with an axe. Abby was facing the killer, and the killer struck the side of her head above her ear, which caused her to, like, spin and fall face down. And once she was face down, the murderer hit her 17 more times in the back of her head. And they put her time of death a lot earlier than Andrew because of her body temperature and stuff. And they estimated she died around 9:30-ish.
Okay.
And at some point, John Morris got back, and he went to the backyard and just sat down and ate some pears because they had pear trees in the backyard. Another weird thing about him, when he was on the trolley, he made sure to know every single person's name on the trolley.
That is interesting.
Just a weird little thing. Of course, an investigation was done. A lot of Lizzie's answers were very contradictory, and they thought she was not acting how she should, and she was even described in the paper as, quote, a very peculiar woman. At the same time, they were pumping her full of morphine.
Oh.
I feel you, Lizzie. I feel you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, morphine could calm you down, but there was a whole trial. A big thing being how she couldn't have done it because she's a woman. There's that. And they didn't fully search the house that first day because Lizzie didn't feel good.
Oh my gosh.
They later did. They found in the basement 2 hatchets, 2 axes, and a broken top of a hatchet, like that snapped off the wood part. There was only a little chunk of wood left on it.
Yeah.
They didn't take it, though. They just left it. And one theory being that the broken one was used and then it was rubbed in ashes to make it look worn and, like, forgotten about.
I guess that's one way to do it.
But they found all this stuff and they're like, oh, we'll just leave it here.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No worries.
And there was a rumor that she tried to buy prussic acid, but then they were like, oh, he just made it up. So I don't really know about that. And Lizzie did try to burn a dress. And if so, it might have been because of house paint. It might have been because of blood on it. And she was found bent over like a washing sink, like the basin.
Yeah.
Washing what appeared to be blood. But she said it was her menstrual. As she said, the fleas were biting. So the officer was like, okay, bye.
The fleas were biting.
That was the term for it back then, I guess. But some think it was something else. But there was this huge, crazy trial, which I'm not going to super get into because we're talking more about haunting. After the trial, she was acquitted. And some of the theories being that people have now are that Lizzie did it. But if she did, like, how could she have changed so quick? Because changing your clothes isn't like taking your jeans off and putting on sweatpants. You know what I mean? How it can take you 2 seconds. It was like the dresses with the corsets and the ties. And she wasn't seen with blood all over her. And some point to the theory that her father didn't allow her or Emma to date. Some say he was essaying his daughter or daughters. But again, that's just a theory. I don't really believe that one. And she did get a huge financial payout. She got to move to the hills as she always wanted with Emma, to a beautiful Victorian mansion that she named Maplecroft. She got a car at a time where like nobody in town had a car, and she even had her own gas tank put in her garage.
Oh, fancy.
And she had this thing, like if she pulled her car in to the garage, it would turn the car around for you. So it was always facing out.
Yeah, I've seen these. And some of them will like lift them up too.
Isn't that cool though? Like she went extravagant. Yeah, it's like, okay, no toilet to car turning.
Well, why not? Yeah.
It's also brought up how Abby was killed first, then her father, because in this order, everything goes to Emma and Lizzie. But if it was Andrew first, some would have reverted to Abby and her family would have benefited.
Mm.
And a big Lizzie thing is that in 1905, her and Emma had some sort of blowout and never spoke again. So some think that maybe she found out that Lizzie really did. Who knows? Another theory being that a Portuguese immigrant who murdered someone in a similar fashion, also in Fall River, less than a week before the Borden's murder did it, but racism at the time, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Some say it was Lizzie and Bridget together, whether for money or the rumor that they were lesbians, and they were like caught doing something by Abby, so she offed them all.
Damn. I don't see why you had to take them all out.
I know, just take her out. Well, I guess the father wouldn't be too pleased after, so you got to commit to the bit.
Yeah. But then it wouldn't make sense to like off even Lizzie. Well, no, because they'd be together. So, but what about the sister?
She was away at the time. She was still away in Fairhaven. She wasn't at the house. Some theories being that it was John Morse, the uncle, maybe for the money because he was in business with Andrew and who knows what was discussed business-wise, or out of rage due to some sort of argument with Abby, and then he was like, I killed Abby, so I have to kill him, or maybe him with Lizzie. Another theory is that John and Bridget, the maid, were involved, and that's why. Then there was the theory that Emma, the sister, snuck back and did it for the money. And then there's the William Borden theory that he was an illegitimate child that Andrew Borden had, and he wanted his fair share of the money, but this is highly disputed that he even exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's there's even as far as like Jack the Ripper on theories, so I'm not going to keep going.
Oh, wow.
But there's so many. There was some sort of like letter sent to newspapers claiming that, oh, I'm Jack the Ripper and I did the Lizzie Borden one.
Oh, geez.
It doesn't sound right. I don't know. So Lizzie lived her life out under scrutiny in Fall River, being taunted by locals. The children would throw rocks at her door. They'd sing that, Lizzie Borden took an axe song. And at age of 66, she died of pneumonia. And then Emma died 9 days later. The two never having reconciled. They're both buried at Oak Grove Cemetery in Fall River. And Lizzie left money to the Animal Rescue League and a trust to care for her father's grave and to the rest of her family and stuff. The Borden House is now a museum / bed and breakfast they have some evidence, like they have the skulls replicas there because the skulls themselves were like boiled down to bring into court as evidence.
Okay.
And they have like that broken hatchet piece that the police never collected.
Oh, yeah.
They have, and a lot of like trial stuff around. The house was the location of a brutal unsolved murder, and it's said to have all sorts of paranormal activity. And just a quick side note, they do have a strict no Ouija board policy, which is funny.
That is funny.
And they ask that no seances be performed on site.
That's kind of weird.
So common things that are seen when you go to visit are apparitions of shadowy figures. There's a lot of, there's a book there of people that have gone and have caught different evidence. There's a lot of spectral faces that people catch. And one of the creepiest videos that you can see online is like doors opening and closing. And that's like where they perform the autopsies.
That's pretty intense. If doors are opening and closing, that's a lot of energy.
Yeah. Also on the floor where Maggie was on the 3rd floor, they hear a lot of children's laughter. That's because their cousins, like Lizzie's cousins, were murdered by their mother next door.
Oh.
So they think that those children actually haunt the 3rd floor because there's Maggie's room, then right down the hall there's another room.
Maybe.
The first time I went, the children did nothing. Me and Lee were there, and we were trying to get the kids to play with us and nothing. But I've seen things move there. Like on a flat surface, you can put a ball down and you will literally see it be pushed or move. Like it's not like a little thing. It gets like somebody went and flicked it. I haven't heard children's laughter, but you can definitely feel something there. People do say that they hear a lot of footsteps, knocking, cold spots, but it is a really old house too. And other people say that books have flown off the shelves. Oh, and there's a rocking chair in the kids' room that sometimes you'll see move a little bit.
Ooh.
I mean, you get EVPs like crazy there. If you want to play with that, there's a lot. I think that most of what's there is nice, but I did see a Sam and Colby thing yesterday where they had like a psychic go in, and she claimed that there was some sort of like dark entity, and the way she described it, it almost sounded like Slender Man that was like creeping everything else out there, and it was like hanging in the corner.
For those of you who are not on the video tier, I just rolled my eyes so hard that I saw the back of my head.
The most active room is said to be Lizzie and Emma's suite. They have like 2 rooms connecting.
Yeah, like a Jack and Jill.
Yeah. That's what they say, but I feel like the 3rd floor, like where the kids' room is more active. But everyone has different adventures. Experiences. That's an adventure. And they also have the basement, which if you go down in the basement, in the ceiling, you can literally still see blood stains in the concrete that came through.
Oh, geez.
Not the concrete, the wood. What is wrong with me? Hi. Yeah. They do a lot of tours in the basement, too. They do, like, flashlight ones down there.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this thing on the wall. It's like a cement wall, and when you take a picture of it, it's supposed to give you a face, which I did, but that doesn't really impress me that much. It just feels like it could be your flash, the shadow, concrete. It's not a flat surface.
What is that? Paradoxia or whatever, pareidolia, whatever what is that called?
I know what you're saying. Pareidolia, I think it is. I think you're...
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we're circling the name. But yeah, that doesn't impress me, but a lot of people go crazy over that one. There have been photos in Bridget's room where you can see a few female faces and like a dark face with it. You don't look impressed by any of this.
When it comes to faces, there's so many things like, okay, there's a fence outside my house and it looks like it's got 3 sets of boobs on it. I mean, it's just whatever you want to see. You know what I mean?
Natasha's seeing nipples. Other people are seeing faces.
Or, you have your coat rack that looks like a Shadow Man, but it's just a coat on a coat rack. Like, some of the stuff could easily be set up, or you go in there, you're already anticipating seeing a face, so you're going to be looking for a face.
What is so strange about this house is everyone says, oh my gosh, I walk in and there's like this oppressive energy. But I've gone in once and I've felt nothing. And then I've gone in other times and I'm like, whoa. So I don't know if they're moving around, because some people do say that she goes from Maplecroft to this, to that, to this, to that. But where is Borden going? Because some say that he goes next door, which is now, I guess, a coffee shop. I haven't gone to that yet, which I have to. That's why, if it's still open, because now you're scaring me that they closed it. But I wanted to go back because they started doing the Victorian tea parties, which sounds so fun.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a blast.
And they teach you like the etiquette and all that stuff, which sounds like, I want to do that so bad. And they obviously have overnight stays where some people in the middle of the night just can't deal with it. They'll hear screaming, feel being touched, all these different things, and just run out in the middle of the night. And they say that the rooms where the actual murders occurred, like which they named the John Morse suite, which was the guest room.
Yeah.
That there's nothing really that happens in there. And in the living room where the couch is, where Andrew Borden was murdered, which doesn't really make sense to me either.
I mean, it could be that it's spread out throughout the house itself. It doesn't have to be attached to the couch. It could have been attached to the axe or something else along those lines.
In Andrew's room, people are suggested to leave pennies or money by his table. And if you bring anything home, like if you go and steal a penny or a dime, he's said to follow you home.
You didn't take a penny, did you?
No, I didn't. If you say the CHEAP word in the house, he's said to be very angry. So you're highly encourage not to discuss that because he's not a fan of that at all. But yeah, it's the same, like the temperature, the knocking, the footsteps, all that stuff, the EVPs, there's so many of them online. And a lot of people communicate with, oh my gosh, I don't want to say Maggie, Bridget, while there. And a lot of people have gotten like, oh, that it was John Morse through EVPs and stuff. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think I'd have to be there to establish a for sure opinion on it. With so much happening there, though, I don't even know where I stand on who did it. I personally, from the sound of it, either there was a conspiracy between the maid and Lizzie. Otherwise, one of them would be dead. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for starters, it's got to be one or both of them. Probably both.
Who is that Abby was like 200 pounds. She was a short woman, but she was like, and these houses back then, you didn't have radios going. You know what I mean? So it was a dead silent house. And those houses back then don't have the insulation like we do now to absorb sound. So if she fell and Lizzie was downstairs, like she said, and she was upstairs, like she said, nobody in the house heard anything, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, unless she was prone to doing, what is it, Pilates or something in her bedroom.
They're like, oh, she's getting a workout in.
Got her leg warmers on. Yeah. The faces thing, I don't put a lot of, I struggle with the faces thing. If it's a one-off, that's one thing. But if you have multiple photos, which is funny to me that in my mind, if you have multiple photos giving you the exact same evidence, I feel like that's actually less credible. Because then if everybody's seeing the exact same thing in the exact same way, it's probably something in the concrete or wood or wherever it is that's just making you see that face. Now, if it was the same face in multiple places in the house, I feel like that would be more credible. When you have an oil stain in your garage and you're all of a sudden you're like, oh, it looks like a map of Australia. And then now every time you go in there, it looks like a map of Australia. And if I tell you, hey, Liz, check this out, it looks like a map of Australia, what are you going to see?
A map of Australia. If I know geography, but I suck at geography, so I'd be like, oh, blob.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Australia looks like. I'm pretty sure I have an idea, but not 100%. But it's just something like that. Like you're going in and you're going to see the same thing in the same place because it's already in your mind. EVPs, I feel I've been really negative natty lately. I am just not in a good place, so I am not feeling very festive most of the time. I've been pretty blah. My question would be, how easy would it be to fake it?
My rebuttal is Zach Baggins was one of the people that went and got the EVPs.
Which is exactly why I'm saying, how easy would it be to fake it? Obviously pretty easy. I don't put anything that he does in any credence at all.
I haven't done EVPs there because the second time it was too heavy to do anything and I didn't know what was there. But to me, the kids are there.
But like we've had stuff, I mean, on the show that's popped up as we're recording. So, but it's not a consistent and it's not the same thing all the time. That's where I struggle with is like some of the stuff, depending on what it is. Now, if it's like a name of like the person who's there, it just, again, it's an old house. There's no insulation. So you can hear what the other people are asking. You could very easily say something to have it pick up on a microphone from another place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it would depend on what the EVPs are and what context they're being recorded in.
You have to watch some videos of people doing it. I would love to go there one day. I'm too afraid to. You know, what do you call it when you put it on the headphones? Like you'd be asking something. Estes method? Or
Estes method.
Okay. I don't trust my brain today.
I've done that before. It's interesting. I'm not good at it because I have a hard time hearing. So when things are being said, I can't filter. I hear it, but I can't tell what it's saying. So I am not the best person to be doing it.
You could ask and I could listen.
That we could do. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Lizzie and Maggie / Bridget probably were cohorts in the whole thing. And I don't feel that Lizzie would. It's one of those things too where it depends on how you look at it. So for me, I feel like the people that would be haunting it would be Abby. Wait, is it Abby? Right?
Abby's the stepmother.
Abby and then Andrew.
People do report Andrew. They report encountering him a lot.
I just don't see Lizzie being the one there.
Well, people do report that she is a lot at the Maplecroft and at the cemetery. That's why they do they used to do like a conjoined thing. Like you could go to the 2nd Street house, to Maplecroft and the cemetery and do it.
But my thing is, she died of pneumonia. It's not like she died of some crazy circumstance. So for me, I struggle with that because it's going to take a lot of energy to let you, allow you to keep going and doing stuff, which I guess people are feeding into her energy this whole time. So I guess there is that. But it's not like anything extravagant happened to her.
But I think they more go off of if she did it, the guilt keeps her here. Like because she never paid for what she did.
Yeah, maybe.
I personally don't think she did it. I think it was most likely the uncle.
Then why not get Lizzie and Bridget? Why leave them?
I wish I knew what their business thing was because I feel like Andrew seems like he was quite a grouch and very, very stingy.
But too, if it was for the money, being the ex-wife's brother does not entitle you to any money in the estate.
No, not the estate, but it might have been some business dealing that would have been screwed up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just never really thought Lizzie did it. And if she did, she might be an after, not the main conspirator. Like if it was her and John, it was like John started it and she's just like, okay, I'm in it. Let's go.
I mean, it is suspicious that he asked everybody's name on the trolley or whatever.
Yeah, there was a guy, Rich Little, who wrote a book. I want to tell you the name of it because I read it recently and I really like his take on it. And he really goes into that it was the uncle.
I mean, the uncle couldn't have done it. He might have been a conspirator, but he didn't do it. He was on the trolley.
Well, he goes into that he went to go visit a family member and the family member just gave him an alibi. He just ran the trolley there, ran the trolley back, and then he wasn't at the family members for all that time.
Yeah, but he was still on the trolley. He couldn't have done it. They were already dead.
It's The Cold Case to Case Closed, The Lizzie Borden, My Story by Rich Little and Beverly Falstad. It's a 2014 self-published true crime re-examining.
Oh, well, there you go.
Murder.
It's self-published.
I really liked it, though. I mean, if you're a Lizzie Borden fan, I'd suggest everybody to get it. It was really...
I feel like it's a stretch, but I mean, it can't take everything off the table. But I feel like it is a very big stretch.
Well, most of these are all theories. At the end of the day, none of these are actually factual. You know what I mean? Everyone has different theories. Some are like, Lizzie 100% did it. He 100% did it. There was supposedly a dark-eyed stranger that came around. Oh, sorry. I got to turn my phone off. A dark-eyed stranger that was seen around that time.
Again, why leave Lizzie and Bridget? That is the part that's getting... They have to be involved because otherwise they would have taken everyone out.
Remember, Bridget was still sick, and she was upstairs in the third floor. So maybe she was sleeping.
Okay, then at least Lizzie.
Lizzie claims in some parts that she was upstairs. Then she says she's downstairs. Then she said that she was in the back, not a garage, like a shed, getting fishing hooks because she was going to go fishing next week. Like, her stories are all over the place, but when they were asking her, she was morphined out of her mind. So she probably was trying to answer, but who knows? But they run off these inconsistencies, and the police that went didn't secure what they needed to. They didn't take evidence with what they needed to. They were like, oh, you don't feel good? All right, I'll search it tomorrow. So anything could have been done to anything.
I still think she at least had a part in it.
She may have. They also had they had a police officer scaled the top of the fence and came in and out just to prove that people can sneak in and out without being noticed at all. And he did have a lot of business rivals. So, I mean, it's just such a interesting case because it's probably never going to get answered.
Yeah, I think it is something that it's just never going to be solved because at this point, everything we have is going to be everything that we have. So you just got to make an educated guess based on that.
And there's so many strange circumstances around it. Like, her uncle was a butcher, and he always kept a a hatchet on them. But then everyone had a hatchet back then. I mean, that wasn't like, oh my gosh,
they
that's
had
crazy.
2 in their basement.
Yeah, two axes, another hatchet head. Like, there was plenty.
Yeah.
Because everyone probably cut their own wood back then or had friggin' Bridget do it.
Yeah, poor Bridget.
The kids are there, I can tell you that. From personal, like, what I've seen. No tricks, no anything, just balls, and they're just pushing them, and you're like, whoa.
Well, maybe somebody just liked to play soccer. Doesn't have to be a kid.
I don't know. I feel like I felt like little kids were there. I didn't feel like anything adult. I didn't feel anything bad. It was just like little kids.
I just don't see why they would be there. It doesn't make any sense.
Because they were murdered next door.
Next door, but not there. Like, why would you pull a B&E? It's like it's a spectral B&E.
But if you're murdered in a place, wouldn't you go to the place where you're the happiest and they would come over there? So they might be like, oh, this is my happy place. That's why they say like Lizzie stayed as Maplecroft because
yeah, but
that
then
was
why
her
would
happy
they say
place.
that Abby and Andrew were haunting the place? Clearly that wasn't the happiest place for them.
They might be there waiting to try to get revenge or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's just a lot there that I like I said, I'd have to be there.
You 100% should. Now I feel like it's still open, but now you have me all nervous.
Well, I wasn't sure. I just thought I heard someone talking about they were going to go, but it was closed. But it might have been closed temporarily for something.
Oh, okay. It might have been something like that. Because COVID, they had weird hours and weird whatever.
Yeah. Who knows?
But yeah, that's all I got.
Yes, I don't think I have anything else to add. I think we pretty much hit everything.
But I'm going to look up the virtual tour, and if they do it, I may invite you to virtually, even though you won't believe it online.
Yeah, because you can fake so much shit on video and all that stuff.
This is such a role reversal. I'm trying to get used to it.
I know. It is very weird. I think I'm just negative Natty. I'm just tired. It's been very stressful.
Well, go enjoy your day off. Potato it up.
Yeah, I'm going to go get me some food. I think I maybe I'm a little hangry.
All right. Well, enjoy your food. And everyone check us out on socials, Patreon.
We got the Patreon feed. Don't forget, if you have any requests or comments or anything like that, it's creepitweirdpodcast@gmail.com. I think that's everything. It's your Patreon, socials, do the things, like, share, subscribe.
All the things.
Yeah, spread the word, do your thing.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Remember to creep it weird.
Bye.